Welcome back to my channel. You know, one of the things that's really important if you live in the forest, which is where I live, up in the mountains, is fire mitigation. And you can see right here, that's all national forest. Both my lots properties back up to the national forest, but you can see down in there's a whole bunch of little spindly trees, and it clogs up the whole forest, and you got a lot of dead branches everywhere. And one of the things I try to do in the springtime is fire mitigation. And my favorite tool to do that is the Bobcat excavator. And we're going to be using this brand new Bobcat E60. And we're gonna spend the day doing some fire mitigation. We're gonna take down a couple trees, get them ready for firewood processing, and clear out quite a bit of shrubbery. And yeah, let me show you how I do it. It's pretty simple with the excavator, and we're also gonna build a trail that's gonna go down from one side to the other. That way I could access it with my TOOLCAT and be able to do better fire mitigation on that property. Anyway, yeah, let's get started.
Work hard, get dough. I can't get no sleep, which make my life more simple. But I wouldn't trade a thing for what I have. I go hard, do what I need to make it last. They say the good die young, I hope I'm bad. Cheers to my past.
Okay, as far as fire mitigation, you can look right down here in this little spot down here. It's overgrown. You got dead trees down there. You got 2 or 3 spindly ones. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a nice little trail through here, and then we'll meet up back on the other side. And what we'll have to do is move the rocks side to side, and then work our way down through, getting rid of the bush and the brush. And yeah, that's what we're going to do. I try to pull these things out by the roots, because otherwise they come right back really quick. And of course we got lots of rocks. No end to the rocks. You don't even really want to dig, you just kind of want to try to push the stuff out of the way. Move the rocks to the side, because if you start digging, you're just going to hit more and more rocks, and you'll just be I know I've done that before, and I just end up with a lot more rocks. So I'm going to just finesse my way right down this little spot and try to get rid of some of the bushes and stuff. See if I can make a turn right here. We're basically going to try to make a little trail through here. rocks, but if you just do a little, try to finesse your way through there. Of course, you can see that, look at the rock. I mean, everywhere you move your bucket is a big rock. I'm gonna go ahead and pull this one out. It's kind of right in my trail. We'll leave that as the cornerstone of this trail, I guess. You kind of learn just to accept the rocks and you know, just try to keep as much dirt in this little trail as possible, so that when you're grading the trail, you know, you have some dirt to work with going down through there. Yeah, my neighbor Don, he says pull these things out by the root if you can, because they'll pop back up really quick. Yeah, fire mitigation, that's something I do on all the properties every year. I try to just do a little, you know, do as much as I can, and I'll go on each property and try to remove, you know, a couple trailer loads. But I've already moved probably 5 dump truck loads off all these properties this year. But I still got a lot of time, so I'm going to try to at least do five more before the year's out. Yeah, so you grab these by the roots and they won't come back. And everything grows pretty quick here, so the idea is let it grow up around these trails, and then you can use the trails with the Bobcat TOOLCAT to go around and basically break up pine needles and just keep the fire mitigation. That's kind of the important thing, that because this area hasn't had a fire in a long time, and I really don't want to. I want to try to have my property as good as possible, so that if I do have to fight a fire here, you know, these trails, I can access through these trails and possibly save my garage or my house. It's funny, there's so many rocks in here. You just, at some point, you kind of just ignore them and just drive over them. But I've learned on my last excavator, I had the Bobcat E60, and although the tracks were used when I got the machine, I really ruined the tracks driving off over all these rocks, because these rocks aren't really rounded. They got some sharp corners on them, and they can really mess up your tracks. So I just take my time. I mean, this is a brand new machine. You know, I bought it, it's mine forever. I don't have to rent it, so I'm just going to take my time and work my way through these trails. And yeah, see if I can. See right here, this is almost, it's not too many rocks in there. Try to leave as much sand or dirt. I wish I had sand, but just try to leave as much dirt as I can here. And then we'll make the turn and go down through there. I think that's good enough. We'll go ahead and start working our way down. squeeze a little too tight, and some of those green logs, like you get a gallon of water come out of those. Yeah, it's got a good grip. Yeah, fire mitigation. A lot of people don't do it, but I'll tell you what, you kind of appreciated it at some point that that you made an effort to do it. If a fire does rip through here and you've got, you know, 10 years of pine needles all over the ground, you know, you're gonna have some pretty hot fire going through there. Let's see if we can't keep some of this dirt here. There's a big rock right there. See, if I make this trail nice enough, then I can come here with my trimmer and my rake and my TOOLCAT and be able to come down through here and get any dead logs and trim any trees or branches that fall down. So that's looking pretty good so far. Let's see. Yeah, it's not bad. Let's go ahead and go further down. This is really overgrown and down in here. That's why I wanted to come down here and try to get this stuff out of here. There, that looks like a big rock right there. Now this rock, you can see this is a pretty nice rock. I'm actually going to take this up to my patio up there. I've got a fire pit area that I'm working on, and I can already see that this is going to be a nice rock. So I'm going to go ahead and take this up there. But you can see the lifting power. I don't know how much this rock weighs, but let me just get a grip on it. You can see it has no trouble lifting this. Now I'm going to try to spin this thing around. It's going to want to jump down. There we go. Yeah, it's funny. You get up in these, you start going through your property and you come across these beautiful rocks. And what I try to do is I try to, you know, just work my way around, and if I see one that's going to work really good for my little patio area, then I'll try to get it and bring it up here. So right now we're going to bring this up to the fire pit. We'll just leave it up there for now. I'll reposition it later on, but at least we'll get it up there. It's good to take it slow with these big rocks. They just like that, they can give you some trouble. This isn't even that. I've picked up some bigger ones, but this one's pretty big. I'm gonna grab it by the top. Alright, let's see if we can take this up there. Now, for now, I'm just gonna set this here because I don't really know where I want to put it yet. gonna leave it there for now. That doesn't look too bad. And let's go back down and get rid of some of these trees. Okay, that was a good sized rock. So let's get this, yeah, you can see dead trees down there. We're gonna go right through here and clean all this up. Yeah, fire mitigation, summertime, that's when you do it. And you try to spend some time going fishing and stuff like that, but then you try to devote as much time as you can on those off days that you're not fishing or hunting or doing that kind of stuff. Try to work on, you know, making your property a little less fire, a little more fire resistant. There's a lot of guys that's what they do for a living. They'll go and they advertise around here all the time for fire mitigating your property. You know, it is a lot of work breaking it up, and of course if you got the equipment, like I'm kind of lucky, I got some good equipment, so I can actually grab these piles, put them in my dump trailer, take them down to the slash pile, and you know, it's not that hard. Then my wife, she likes to rake, so she goes around and rakes all these trails up after I make a mess out of them. Yeah, it can be really hard on machines though if you live in something like this, because that's why I've been trying to teach myself to be a little more finessing with the excavators, so that, you know, I don't want it to end up really sloppy machine, and the only way to avoid that is to, you know, take care of it, keep it greased, and try not to bang it up. You know, when you're lifting these big giant rocks, you can do it slow too. Like here's one right here. You can just get it slow and put it over to where you want it. Just try not to bang the machine around. Well, it's hard to even make a trail. It's so rocky. And I try to leave as much dirt on the ground as possible, because there's more rock around here than there is dirt. And what I end up doing is bringing in DG, and then I'll bring in DG, compact the trail a little bit, and then I'll bring in some gravel to make it really nice for traveling on. And it also, actually, if you have some gravel, the snow melts on it pretty good too, rather than all this stuff that kind of sits there for a long time. But I've been trying to make my property actually easier to plow in the wintertime too, which is, last year I couldn't really push it very far, so I ended up with these big piles, and that was kind of hard to move them around. I like this long arm. It can really, so we basically moved twice, and I can still reach the same pile that I was working on. And I'm just gonna push some of this out of the way. We're almost down to these trees that I want to get out of here. And I'll show you how easy it is to get rid of a tree. I never cut trees down anymore. I always pull them out by the stump, because I see a lot of people, they'll cut them down, and then it's really hard to get the stump out. But if you leave the stump in, yeah, we could probably come down here further. If you leave the stump in and maybe dig around it a little bit, you can basically use the machine to just push that stump, and use the tree, I mean, to get that stump out of there. And yeah, that works really good. I'll show you in a minute. We're almost to one of the trees that I want to get rid of. and just see if we can reach this one over there. And it's still almost reachable to that pile. I'm gonna get to the point where I'll have to make another little pile. So you can see, look at all these dead branches. These are just falling from those trees. And then they, you know, they dry up and then they become some pretty bad firewood that you can't get to if you don't have access down here. And then you can see, like, if you look right there, that one right there, that's dead. So I try to get those. You don't have to get them all, but you can see there's a bunch of dead ones behind it too. It's better for the forest too. You get, you know, kind of clean it up and get the dead ones out, let more sun into the forest. It's better for all the trees. A lot of these trees, they'll only have green up top because not enough sun can come into the bottom layer of the canopy. So if you let a little sun in, it helps out a lot. I try to just drag this bucket over the top, pull these things out, leave as much dirt there as I can. Alright, we're almost to the location that I wanted to be. That looks wide enough. Before I go get that, knock that tree down, I'm going to reach over here because I see this dead one in there. See it? I'm going to see if I can reach in there and get that one out of there. We'll get these out first though. Yeah, the excavator makes quick work of fire mitigation. Just take your time. I'll go over and get that one later. It's kind of too far in there. But you can see a lot of this stuff's been laying on the ground. This stuff's thick with pine needles and stuff. So we'll come back through here actually. We'll come back through here and try to rake in between all these nice trees and get all these pine needles out of here. Oops. It's hard to get stuff without getting rocks because there's just so many rocks. Let's move down a little bit. In these lower sections, it's actually better because you get a lot more soil that's come down in here. So you can have a little more dirt down here. You can see there's probably 10 inches of pine needles down there. That's just a thick layer of pine needles right there. Now I'm not going to be able to reach that pile anymore, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to just kind of finesse my way down here and leave a pile. I'm going to try to just I'm going to push this pile down here and I'll have to come down and get it later. So you can see we're already down here and where these little trees are. Now look at this tree right there. You see how it's curved up? It's because it couldn't find any sunshine. and it's just it's fighting for every little bit of sunshine. I don't know if you can see, but see right in front of me, this little spindly tree right there. That thing's in between some big nice trees, and also this one right here on the right. Now what I do is I want to get rid of these two trees, so I'm going to basically see how much is holding it, and if not too much is holding it, see, it looks like it's still got some roots on it, so I'll go ahead and dig a little bit around it. Not too much. It actually feels like soft dirt down there. I'll dig on this side. I'll come back. I'll dig on this other side a little bit. You gotta watch the branches. This new excavator is actually really nice for, it doesn't have a lot of problems with branches because they put most of the hydraulics on the top. So I didn't do much digging on it, but I'm gonna see how much power it's got. See if I can just push it over. Now you got to be careful that you don't push it right back on yourself, and that happens. And I don't want it to come hit my cab either. So I'm gonna back up a little bit so I can get some. I can get this arm up there. So the higher up you go when you push it, the easier it'll go down. And I'm going to try to push it over to the right a little bit because there's a tree right in front of it. So I'm going to push and turn to the right. And you can see the root ball is coming right out. And there it goes. See, that didn't take much at all. And you want to get these roots out because if you don't get them out, then they're just gonna be harder to move around later, and you got to drive through it. So we're gonna drag this tree all the way up to my pile that I got going on, if we can get it up there. This one doesn't look too big. I should be able to drive it up there. Yeah. It's going to be too difficult to drag it. So I'm going to have to come down here with the chainsaw and basically get that one out. So I might as well, since I'm here, I've got another one right here in front of me. I don't want to damage the big trees, but these little spindly ones, I like to let more sunshine into the bottom of the forest. So I'm barely digging very much around this tree. See, the ground's pretty soft right there. I'll dig a little bit in front of it. That's about it right there. I should be able to just push this thing over. Yeah, let's give it a try. You can see, look out. And there it goes. Piece of cake, huh? And here you can see the fire mitigation going through here it's getting better and better. So right here, I turn this corner and I go almost down to the road, but not quite. But I've got it pretty well cleared out. I still need to do a lot of work to make it. I still need to do a lot of work to clean it up and make it smooth, and then I'll put DG on it and possibly even some gravel later on. But for sure, some DG to keep it from getting too muddy. Right here, you can see it kind of just meanders around and comes down to this lower road. Now right here, I didn't cross this one little path right here because there's right there, there's a little stream that kind of comes through there, and I think I'm going to put a small culvert right there that I can cross over. And then yeah, we'll back up here and we'll go the other way. You can see all those rocks I lined up. That just came out of that one little section. They're pretty nice rocks. Might do some landscaping with them. And yeah, now right here we're gonna turn around. I'm just backing up through here, and we'll go ahead and turn around right here and go up and then around and down to the street. And you can see there's still plenty of green all over the place. Matter of fact, this trail right here that we're going on right now, it goes all the way down to that next road. And this morning we saw 2 deer, a doe and a buck, come up through there, and I think they liked it. So it'll probably be a little bit of a game trail almost, because they tend to take easy paths through the area, and I think they'll use this path. I haven't got rid of that crooked tree yet. I'll probably work on it. It started raining actually the last day, and I kind of had to quit. But today it stopped raining. I thought I'd show you the trail going all the way down the hill. Anyway, thank you very much for watching. I know this was a long video. Please subscribe and like it, and I will see you next time. Later.
Work hard, get dough. I can't get no sleep, please make my life more simple.